So I'm doing a lot of things on a daily basis. I'm trying to post on social media, I'm trying to scale my agency, and I'm trying to create a community on school. And this takes a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of brain capacity. So I was thinking, how can I clone myself? How can I create different AI agents that would think like me and they would assist me in different tasks and they would be experts in those specific fields? So for instance, clone myself as a co-founder that is going to help me run my business, or clone myself as a social media content manager that is going to help me create videos for social media, and also as maybe a manager for my school community. This is when I remembered a YouTube video that I watched a few weeks ago from Tiago Forte about the master prompt. It's an exquisite video. I actually advise you to go and watch it for yourself. And I'm going to use the same principle to clone myself in different AIs inside ChatGPT. So let's see how we're going to do that. Now the idea was simple. This is the master prompt template from Tiago Forte. I analyzed it a bit and I kind of tweaked a few things around. So this specific master prompt template tells you to do this, to answer the following questions in a text document, aim for 1 to 3 sentences, response per questions to start. Then paste the entire document to the personal preferences in Claude or have it ready to add as a source in Notebook LLM. So he goes over a few different topics. He goes over the personal topics of that person, over the company, the market, team KPIs, products and services, and culture. You can see that this document is basically done for entrepreneurs mostly. What I wanted to do is to create different specific master prompt templates for different custom GPTs or AI agents inside Claude or Notebook LLM. And in order to do that, I had to create a meta prompt that will create master prompts. I'm going to explain everything in a few seconds. If we go over to the meta prompt, this is a prompt that you will input inside ChatGPT, inside Claude, inside whatever LLM you're trying to use. And what this meta prompt is going to do is going to create a master prompt that is going to be tailored for a specific role that you want that AI agent or custom GPT to do. If it is a social media manager, if it is your co-founder for your company, or if it is, I don't know, a private chef that is going to help you with the recipes that you actually like. Let's analyze the prompt a little bit. So we are starting with a few specifications for the GPT that we are going to input this into. You are a meta prompt builder, an expert prompt engineer. Your job is to either interview me, which is going to be guided mode, or accept a JSON brief one-shot mode, then output a single self-contained master prompt. I can paste into a custom GPT, instructions field, or a system prompt to duplicate myself for a specific role. So you can see here that we basically have two options that we can use this meta prompt with. We either go the interview route, which is basically 10 specific questions that the AI is going to ask us and we are going to have to answer in as much detail as possible. And based on those responses for those 10 questions, the AI will create a master prompt for us. Or we are going to go the JSON brief route, which is going to be a one-shot JSON schema with specific details for that master prompt. These are a few details for the AI in order to know how to run. And then we are going to go over to the example of the one-shot JSON schema. So you can see here that the JSON has an assistant name, role title, mission, success metrics, non-goals, primary users, and many other different fields. Now these fields are tailored for the master prompt and are tailored in such a way that we are going to have a really detailed master prompt. Now, if you want to go the JSON schema route, it might take you a little while, or you could create this using another AI. So for instance, you might already use AI to have like a co-founder with which you are talking and brainstorming ideas, right? Therefore, that specific AI is going to already know the way you work and what you specifically want in your prompts or in your results. Now, you could go to that specific AI and ask him to give you this kind of JSON schema based on what he knows about you. You are going to input, for instance, this specific example, and he's going to fill it out for you. This could be an option, or you could manually fill it. Either way, going the JSON schema route is going to be much more specific than just answering those 10 questions, because of course, it's going to have specific guardrails and rules for that master prompt. But if we go the guided mode, it's going to look something like this. It's going to be basically 10 parts with different questions for those categories. We're going to have assistant name and role, mission and success, non-goals, users and audiences, context and offers, voice and tone, sources, capabilities and workflows, output formats, and guardrails. Again, these specific formats and these specific categories are more for kind of entrepreneurs, because if you see here, we are going to have context and offers. This implies that you are going to have an offer that you are trying to sell. Also here we are going to have users and audiences, which will imply who will use this AI, this custom GPT, this clone of myself. Usually it would be yourself, but if you have a team, you might instructing that a team of 5 people is going to use this clone. So he's going to know exactly how to interact with each one of them. Again, the idea of the guided mode and the JSON one-shot prompt is to get a very specific master prompt. Now, after we have gone either one of those routes, we are going to have the master prompt, which is going to have a few required sections. Purpose and role, scope and non-goals, users and audiences, business context and offers, voice and style guide, decision heuristics, source of truth. Here you're going to put other documents and links or whatever sources you want on top in that custom GPT or that AI agent that are going to reinforce the data that the AI knows, the clone knows about yourself. We're going to have core capabilities, workflows, if you're trying to have certain specific workflows for certain tasks that you usually do. So for instance, let's say you have a social media manager and a few workflows would look something like this. You could say, let's brainstorm on a topic. And you already have a workflow specific for the task when you are trying to brainstorm with your AI, and it's going to go a certain route. For instance, the first step of the workflow is to go over and analyze 5 different articles on a specific topic. Then go over and create a summary for all of these articles. Then go over and create 5 different ideas based on those articles. This is just an example of how a workflow could look like. Then you're going to have output formats, interaction rules, quality and review checklist, citation effect, check policy, safety and compliance guardrails, memory maintenance, starter commands, and setup instructions. Here you can see on step 15 on the required sections, memory and maintenance, on how to request and update new info. Basically what this implies is that you are going to go and talk with this clone, with this specific AI constantly. So maybe he gave you a task, maybe you brainstorm on a specific move that you should make inside your company in order to scale. You have done that move in real life, you are going to go over to your clone and you are going to give it all the data, all of the results based on the move that you have already made. Why is that? Because you are trying to use this clone of yourself, this AI, as a real life human being, like a person, right? And you are going to feed him back the data that resulted in the actions that you two have brainstormed, right? Therefore, he's going to learn exactly how he should tweak his results, his answers, or the approach that he should have as a clone. Perfect. Then we have the non-negotiables for the AI. No internal chain of thought in outputs, never fabricate facts, cite sources, use CRISC, summable markdown, so on and so forth. And then a final output format. Now, let's see how a JSON one-shot prompt schema would look like and a guided mode would look like. We are in ChatGPT, we pasted the meta prompt right here, and he is going to ask us, do we want to provide a JSON brief or do we want to run the guided mode? And we have provided a JSON brief. Let's go over this JSON really quickly. This was a digital creator assistant, right? So the role title is going to be an AI co-founder for short form and YouTube. We got admission, plan script, and optimize daily short form and weekly YouTube in my voice to attract entrepreneurs and AI passionates. See, we went a bit more in detail here. Success metrics could look something like this: 5 posts a week published, over 8% average IG and TikTok watch rate, and 2 inbound leads per week. We go over the primary users, just like I told you, it's only going to be me, not a team. Audiences, offer services, voice and tone, style, do, use concrete example, short sentences, 1 insight per line, and don'ts, signature phrases, creators, if we want to emulate some creators that we like in the social media spaces, decision heuristics, find a common pain point and destroy it, create interesting theories and explain them, and default to 3 hooks, 1 safe, 1 spicy, and 1 contrarian. These decision heuristics are going to be pretty potent in the results that we actually have. You're going to see that, for instance, if you're going to use this specific AI agent, this specific clone, and he has these 3 decision heuristics, he usually, when we are trying to brainstorm, for instance, an idea, is going to always give us 3 hooks, which is going to be 1 safe, 1 spicy, and 1 contrarian. So these are pretty important, keep in mind. Input sources, we have the documents that we want to provide to that custom GPT that we are going to create, which is going to be a brand voice document. We're going to have the ICP note, and we are going to have the offer sheet document, right? URL, structured data, so on and so forth. Then we're going to have capabilities of that specific AI, limits, tooling. We are going to have workflows, just like I told you about workflows. For instance, this could be a workflow. The name is going to be short form sprint. So whenever I ask the clone. So let's do a short form sprint. He's going to do exactly this. He's going to extract one pane. He's going to draft 3 hooks. He's going to outline 6 to 8 bullets, write an A-roll script, and add a CTA. See? So whenever I asked the AI for a short form sprint or something related to this specific thing, he's going to trigger this workflow and he's going to pick these specific steps, right? Okay, then we have the output formats, review checklist, interaction rules, starter commands, maintenance, and examples. Okay, now let's see what the result from this AI, from this specific input from the JSON schema looks like. By the way, this result was almost instantaneous because we are using JSON. The AI is going to understand it much quicker than just plain English language. Now, the master prompt looks like this. We have the purpose and the role. You're a digital creator acting as my AI co-founder for short and YouTube. Your mission, plan, script, and optimize daily short form videos, and you exist to multiply my creative output without sacrificing brand authenticity. We have the scope and non-goals, which are really detailed based on the JSON that we have provided. What he should avoid, users and audiences, business context and offers, voice and style guides, decision heuristics, source of truth, core capabilities, workflows, and then we have the output formats. You can see that this is really detailed and really neatly done and arranged in Markdown format. Now, after this, he's going to give us also some hooks, CTAs. He's going to give us a few more details when it comes to the output formats. You can see that they are not in Markdown format, therefore they are going to go out of this code cassette. But then we are going to have the 11th step, which is going to be interaction rules, quality and review checklist, citation, safety and compliance, memory maintenance, starter commands, and setup instructions. Now, if we get everything, if we get all of these different text results from the master prompt, so basically the master prompt itself, and we are in ChatGPT, we are going to open a new project. Here in the project, we are going to say social media co-founder or clone, however you want. We are going to create this specific project, and we are also going to go over to Google Docs. Let's just open another Google document. We're going to paste the master prompt that we have gotten from ChatGPT here. Perfect. Let's download it. You are going to download it as a PDF. We are going to go over here and we are going to add it as a file inside our project. And now our AI project has become a clone of ourselves. He knows exactly what we want from him with all of the details about us, with all of the context. So let's say, for instance, start a short form sprint where we brainstorm 3 new IG ideas. Let's see how this works. So as you can see, we basically triggered a workflow because we said short form sprint. So it was the same steps. We have hooks, which are safe, spicy, and contrarian, right? We have the beats, 6 to 8 bullets. We have the CTA, and we have this for all of these 3 ideas. You can see these are pretty good ideas. AI feels overwhelming for small businesses. They're right on the topic of what I create for my social media content. Agencies drowning in operations. And then we have fear that AI will replace jobs. Really good topics, really good hooks, and actually really good beats. So yeah, you can see how valuable this is because it has all of the context about us and how we work. Now we are going to do the exact same thing, but go the guided route. So we have inputted the meta prompt here, and we chose let's run guided mode. Ask me these questions one by one. So the first question, assistant name and role. What I did was just click on dictate and just spit out all of my ideas directly in here, and then inputting them inside this chat. So I gone over the first question, assistant name and role. We got a mission and success. We have the known goals. We have users and audiences. We have context and offers. We have voice and tone, sources, and here we got over the output formats, guardrails, and this was basically it. See, I didn't really put that much effort into giving answers for all of these questions. You can see here by the length of the actual answers, but they were enough to create this specific master prompt. Again, this was for a virtual co-founder and strategic manager for my digital agency. Now we have the purpose and role, scope and own goals, users and audiences, everything, right? Let's see how this is actually going to work inside a new project. We are going to copy it. We are going to do the exact same thing that we did with our digital creator master prompt, but this one is going to be the agency growth partner. Nice. We are going to download it again as a PDF. And let's create a new project, which is going to be, we're going to create it, and we are going to input the PDF that we have gotten, basically the master prompt from the guided mode that we have done. Perfect. Now let's ask him a few questions. Let's brainstorm a few ideas when it comes to outreaching on LinkedIn and cold emailing. Be as detailed as possible. Let's go. It's really a vague input. Let's see what he spits out. So you can see that he has read the PDF and he has gotten us this answer. LinkedIn outreach angles. We have the first idea value first, commenting plus connection, tactic, pros, cons, and then a score. You can see that in the heuristics of the master prompt, we have put these specific things. If we go over here, yeah, present 3 alternative angles or tactics, pros and cons for each, rate each option. So just like I told you, we have basically a workflow here. This is going to be the brainstorm and evaluate ideas. And because we said here, let's brainstorm a few ideas. See, it triggered a workflow. Now we have the idea B, idea C, then cold emails, problem-led, case snippet, audit style cold email, really good, even gives us a score, and nope is just resource and cold email. Yeah, really, really good. Again, this is for my digital business. So because you can do this for different areas of your life, you can then go over into your ChatGPT and have here different projects with different specific instructions for each one of them that is going to help you in one specific area of your life, your business, your social media, whatever it's going to be. And this was basically it. I just got an idea from Tiago Forte, optimized it a bit for what I wanted to do, and created the meta prompt. You're going to find all of the templates and the assets inside my free community on School, first link in the description. I went over this pretty quickly, so if you have questions, comment them down below and I'm going to answer them. Hope this video helped. Have a great day and see you on the next one.